Hey guys, Matt here. In this video, we're going to talk Marvel cards, so stay tuned. Alright, so I am going to be submitting 3 sketch cards, which I will show you very soon. But I wanted to take a moment to kind of go over some of the different grading options and companies out there, and then we'll talk a little bit about where I'm going with these particular cards. So, first of all, you've got PSA, and this is just a card just to kind of show you how the slab is. PSA is one of the big dogs. They tend to get right now the highest value if you're selling cards or anything like that. But their slab is just kind of very mundane looking, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with it. They have a fantastic registry. I grade with them, as you can tell. But some cards are worth grading with PSA and some may be worth grading with others, which we'll talk about. Another one of these grading companies is SGC. And SGC has a tuxedo looking slab. It's much bigger than a PSA slab, if you can actually tell that. This is actually a bigger width. And they have a different grading scale. Their Mint Plus is a 9.5, whereas Mint is 9, and then the 10 is the Gem Mint for PSA. So this is just an example, and it's a nice slab. Some people really like this type of slab with that floating look around it. If you can see, this is another beautiful card. This is a PMG bronze from there, but it gives you kind of an idea of how that particular slab looks. Then we get to Beckett, and this is a sketch card I just submitted recently to Beckett. Beckett has another different type of slab. This is a much thicker slab. They also have a grading scale very similar to the SGC, where you can get a 9.5. You can even get a 10, and we'll talk about that. But with Beckett, you get, and I'm sorry if it autofocuses right there, subgrades, centering, edges, corners, and surface. And this, for a lot of people, is very worthwhile on certain types of cards if you're looking, for really high subgrades and to kind of really figure out where does the card have its flaws. In this particular one, if you can see that, and let me do my handy dandy little light so you can see a little bit better, and I'll show you that after. But this one has edges of 9, corners 8.5, surface is 9.5, and centering is a 10. You can see that on there. And this is just a handy light I use with a magnifying glass when I kind of look at my cards before I submit them. So, but with Beckett, you can get a 10 in what we call Black Label. And this is not a Marvel card, but I just kind of wanted to show this. This is a Beckett Black Label. 10 on everything. Centering, edges, corners, and surface, pristine 10. That is what a Beckett Black Label looks like. Some of these go for a significant amount of money. Others ones like Richard Dreyfuss, probably not so much. But I did want to show that off so you can kind of see what a Black Label looks like on a perfect 10. Now we have CGC that came into the marketplace, and I submitted, and I did a video on it. I submitted some of these sketch cards. I really love these, and we're going to go over them shortly. These 2011 Rittenhouse artist sketch cards. I'm in love with these. I've had these since they came out back in 2011. I picked up a couple along the way. But one of the things that CGC did now in just coming in is, number one, they have their case, which is very similar to the ones for the TCG and the Pokemon cases and all, but it's that blue label, just like the comics, which many people like myself really like. And then you can add these subgrades, which, just like Beckett, centering, surface, corners, and edges. Really, really nice to kind of figure it out. This is a mint 9. CGC has a pristine 10, which is what we have here with centering 10, 9.5, 10, and 10. This was a fantastic grade. You can also get a gem mint, which is 9.5. I think it's a gem mint. It may be a mint plus, they call it, just like SGC. I had another pristine 10, and I just wanted to show you kind of that. The centering is a 9.5, which took this from being a perfect 10. And that is what this is. A perfect 10, 10, 10, 10, right across the board, much like Beckett's Black Label. Just saying perfect 10 on this one. I wish CGC would do something a little different with the label to kind of let it stand out more so than the pristine 10. But I did do this with the subgrades because I really like these sketch cards. These are just gorgeous artwork. I mean, that's what you're looking at when you're doing these sketch cards. So that brings me to these 3 cards that we are going to be submitting to CGC. And the reason I'm doing CGC is because I'm doing all of these sketch cards to CGC. I really like that blue label, and I really like it when it matches kind of the comics in that regard. I have nothing against anything like PSA, SGC, and Beckett. In fact, I will be sending probably a couple more cards to PSA, just different cards, but these I really wanted to submit. So let's talk about these 3 cards. These are going to be 3 sketch cards from the same 2011 Rittenhouse one. As you can tell, I'm a fan of that, so I want to send these in to kind of match. And I'm ultimately going to do a display, kind of like what I have for my my PSA 1990 MU cards that I've been doing. And I'll post a couple pictures so you guys can take a look at what I'm talking about as far as displaying them. But in this one, I wanted to kind of show off some of the cards. I have my handy dandy light so you can kind of get a little bit of a better idea. These cards, because of the way they are crafted, are usually really good with centering. So this will probably be a 9.5 to 10 on the centering. The issue on these cards are going to be corners because of their age, as well as surface. I can tell you this particular card has a surface issue right here, which you can see, and when the card is out, you can actually feel it. So I expect that this card is probably going to get a 9, which is fine with me, given surface issues, but obviously when we get it back, you guys will see. This is, if I'm going to read this right, Jake Sumbing did the artwork on this of Luke Cage. Very cool card. And so that is one of the ones that are going in. Next one is going to be this beautiful sketch card done by, if I'm reading this right, Cover. I'm assuming that says 7-1, but you guys can correct me. Let me see if I can pull it up here so you can see. I think that says Cover 7-1, but and this one, I'm not sure if this is going to be like a Maria Hill type look or if this is like a kind of like a Silver Sable. You guys can let me know your thoughts on who the character is going to be that this one is crafted, but nonetheless, just a gorgeous Rittenhouse one. This one I can see as coming back potentially as a pristine 10, at least a 9.5, I think, based on what I'm seeing. Surface looks pretty good, edges look pretty good, and be sure to check yours. But this one looks pretty good, so we're going to hope for a high grade on that. And last but not least, this is another Brian Postman work with Captain America on the 2011. And this, like I said, guys, this is just beautiful artwork. Let me turn this off for a minute. This is a Postman one as well. You can kind of see just by the way he draws. But nonetheless, just gorgeous art. And I really like these. I'm gonna, like I said, I want to get a whole display of these and put them in. I do have some more Rittenhouse. So these are definitely going to CGC. So you guys let me know what you guys are sending in, if at all. Are you guys sending in? I know some people have slowed down on grading. I haven't graded a ton of stuff. I'm getting stuff back. But I've kind of slowed down a little bit just because the market itself is a little crazy, and the grading has been a little crazy for CGC in my opinion. So let me know if you guys are taking any chances with submitting with CGC any of your Marvel cards, or if you're still going with the tried, true PSA or Beckett on any of these. These are going to go with subgrades. So I want to make that clear because I really do want to have that matching look. But that's going to be it for today. 3 cards in. And since the turnaround has been fairly quickly, I expect to have these in literally a couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks, no longer than a month, just the way the turnaround seems to be. We'll kind of see and note that. But any questions, leave them in the comments down below. As always, guys, if you get some value out of it, please leave a like. And if you like the Marvel content, whether it's the cards, sports cards, or even comics, feel free to punch that subscribe button. And I try and do videos each week. And I hope I add something as a collector to the community. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.